Well, it would appear South Africa has been inundated with rain today. Alright, well anyway, hi guys and welcome to... Well, this isn't actually the first attempt I've done with a video doing commentary, so please excuse my rough way of speaking, if you will. I'm not used to doing commentary. Anyway, this is... Well, I'm on the Pietermaritzburg to Ladysmith route, which is one of two South African routes you can find on Steam, and that's the name of the station I'm currently sitting at. I honestly don't know how to pronounce its name. Anyway, as I showed just a few seconds ago, this is our engine for the day. This is a Class 6E1, which is quite obviously an electric locomotive. And this is a scenario that comes with the route. See that its name, long haul up. And we've got to go to a place called Cedara, which is 14 kilometers, just over 14 kilometers away. Right, as it's obviously a very rainy day, we need to have the wipers on. Just released. Not sure how well this is going to do, because obviously we've got wet day combined with what appears to be a heavy train, although thankfully there's not actually any coal in the wagons. Obviously I say that, yeah, there was still a small smidge of coal left in the wagons, but I guess the way train simulation is set up, it's I guess the way the physics are done is simulates like as if the wagons are actually empty. But anyway, so I honestly don't remember how long this route has been available for, but I think it's been a few, well, at least a couple of years. I was actually quite impressed when this first came out, because I'd never actually seen any sort of South African route or train simulator before. You might not be able to tell, but the track gauge on this route is 3-foot 6-inch gauge, which is the same gauge the same track gauge that the country I live in uses. And as you might be able to tell from the last word in my username, I live in New Zealand, which is interesting because we haven't really got any representation of train simulation yet, apart from some people that are making part of a New Zealand route, shameless plug. But anyway, that's beside the point. So, what's the speed limit? 40 kilometers an hour. I honestly don't, at least yeah, that's kilometers, because you see this little KM there. Well, what do I think of this route? I hear a few of you are asking. Well, in my case, I sort of like it because it's the relatively low level of detail means that I generally get reasonably good frame rates, which in my case is something quite hard to come by because, well, I'm looking at it now, and the computer that I'm using is a crummy 5-year-old HP laptop, which, as I mentioned, well, it's just over 5 years old. I mean, I got it in December 2013, right when I was at the end of year 8. That was certainly a fun year. Not as bad as 2016. Anyway, for some reason, I just realised the shade of orange on this locomotive reminds me of orange chocolate chip ice cream. Seems a bit of an odd comparison to make, but anyway, I've just noticed I'm going up at 1 in 52 grade. I'm not gonna, quite frankly, I can't be bothered counting the number of wagons in this train. Anyway, let's see what the horn sounds like. Although I might have blasted it earlier, but I don't remember. Yeah, on this route you have to sorry, that was just me scratching my head. I can only apologise for that. Anyway, as I was about to say, that's one thing I've noticed on this route is that the speed limit through crossovers is usually 15 kilometres an hour. So I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but okay, I didn't notice this. I mean, look at the track layout around Boughton. I'm not from South Africa, so well, even if I was from South Africa, I'll wager that I wouldn't be in Kwazulu-Natal. I'd probably be somewhere like, I don't know, East London, Cape Town. I think the closest major city to this line is probably either Johannesburg or Durban. said, I don't claim to be an expert on South Africa, so I don't know. I think turning the headlights off actually gets slightly better frames. Anyway, I'm not sure if anyone caught it. The other day I did a video on this route, which was, what does that say, on schedule. That's good to see. Okay, so as per usual, I can't really remember what I was going to say. So, what do you get with this route? Well, you get, well, actually quite a long route. I mean, it's so long that I can't show the whole thing in this 2D map view, but runs at Pietermaritzburg is down this way. I think that's the station around there. And right up here, about 191 kilometres to the north, is Ladysmith. As you can see, there's two reasonably big yards there. I think that one's called Dunstable. This one is Zanga Junction. Probably offend the entire nation of South Africa by butchering that name, but you'll have to excuse me because, as I said, I'm not from South Africa. Although I feel I should mention that, surprisingly, there are actually at least 3 South African engines in New Zealand. Well, more specifically, the city of Auckland. All anyone thinks of when they think of New Zealand. It's just that prominent. Anyway, 3 South African engines that are currently in Auckland are 2 25NC Class 484 tender engines, 1 GMAN Class Garrett. And for those that don't know, a Garrett is basically a steam locomotive. It's a form of articulated steam locomotive where the boiler is mounted on a separate cradle, and at each end it's supported by a different engine unit. I think the one at the front, the front of the boiler, carries water, and the other one carries coal. So I think Garrett, yes, as far as I know, South Africa did have a good number of Garretts, both 3'6" and narrower gauges. And as far as I know, the main benefit, well, I'm perfectly honest and say I'm not really sure what the supposed benefits of a Garrett locomotive was, but really I'm just interested in it because of the way they look. I mean, well, to hear my dad talk, he would think the Garretts are hideous. I mean, well, sure, I don't say anything. I don't tell him he's wrong for saying that. I mean, it's his opinion. As far as I know, he wants to talk to my opinion. This bloke that I've put in the driver's seats, well, for one thing, his outfit looks awful. Reminds me of the red bus in Christchurch. Saying that, do I talk about what happened the night before this video? I don't feel I should, because I might get into trouble with, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. One thing I have noticed is that the gradient has gotten a bit steeper. You'll notice that even though we're in full power, and with the... You'll notice that even though we're in full power, and the sanders are going, I don't think there's no sand particles shown on this engine. Not shown, simulated rather. I think if you look at something like, I don't know, Smokebox's rendition of 440 number 119, I think he's done sand particles, but I'll have to revisit that engine to make sure. Speaking of, actually, why should I... Again, please excuse this, because, well, I was about to say this is the first time I've tried doing commentary, but it's not. The first time I tried was in Open BVE on the Waterloo City line, which is actually one of my personal favourite underground railway lines in London. I would ramble about it, but obviously there's a reference here. But I bothered. Anyway, so as I was saying earlier, with this route, the route, I just looked down there. That's the line where we came up from. It's a bit like this. If you go back to the 2D map, you see the road some sort of spiral. It's a bit like. I think the reason they do this sort of thing, it's like zigzags, is to make sure the train is able to go up the mountain, but still at a manageable gradient. It's a bit like, I guess it's like the situation with the Bernina Railway, where that line, especially the section between Poschiavo and Ospizio Bernina, that, well I think, yeah, that section is, well, I mean, put it this way, if the track was built in a straight line between Poschiavo and Ospizio Bernina, gradient for the most part would just be unmanageable. Like, you wouldn't be able to use conventional adhesions on that sort of section. So what they had to do was build like a great big zigzag line going up and down, going up one side of the mountain. And even then, the gradient is still horrendously steep, 1 in 14, which basically means that I think it's like every 14 feet along the slope, you climb 1 foot in altitude. At least I think that's how it works. Again, please excuse my ignorance. Some people to hear some people talk, you would think I know absolutely everything about railways, but well, as much as I hate to say it, those people are wrong. For instance, I've got absolutely no knowledge, well basically no knowledge whatsoever on the railways of France. I've got an extremely basic knowledge of the railways in South Africa. Obviously I know quite a bit about railways in New Zealand, go figure. It's also a bit about, scratching my head again, I do know a bit about the railways in the UK, which is obviously in Wales and Scotland. Recently I thought of not necessarily a derogatory name for Wales, but an alternative name would be the land and place names that are impossible to pronounce. I sort of understand what I'm getting at when I say that, but anyway. I'm changing the subject all the time, aren't I? Anyway, so with this, I feel I should take a screenshot, since I haven't done so yet. Anyway, so as I was saying, close station. But anyway, so as I said, with this route, unfortunately, despite how long it is and just how much the track goes to explore, it is sort of made a little bit boring by the fact that you only get one locomotive, which is this, the Class 6E1. I'm not sure what version of the 6E1 this is, but I think it's like Series 4. Again, please don't quote me on that. It's like and I've never claimed to be. Anyway, when you have to be at next waypoint, 1613. Of course, for people that don't necessarily know, Train Simulator uses a 24-hour clock. So when you see like 1600 hours, that means like I think that means 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it does. Just realised this weather that I'm getting in this scenario reminds me of what I had yesterday when I was sat by the railway, or sat on the grass by a railway crossing over at Mount Wanganui, and I was waiting for a train to show up, and I was waiting for like almost an hour, and I think for about 30 minutes the rain was coming down. Because for some reason every time I say rain I feel to reference a song which is called Rain. It's by New Zealand band called Dragon, whose frontman Mark Hunter, his brother Todd Hunter, were actually born in Pietermaritzburg, which is probably one of the hardest place names to pronounce. Anyway, so as I said, unfortunately you do only get one locomotive with this route, which is the Class 6E1. Even though obviously the fact that you do get just one locomotive is somewhat boring, at least you get it in multiple liveries, which in this case I'm driving the orange livery with the Spawneys logo. As far as I know, Spawneys was was the name given to the main company that ran the railway network in South Africa, I think the 2010s. I know the name was still in existence when I think it's a 15F steam locomotive was moved from Bloemfontein all the way back to... I'm not sure if you heard that, my dog just came running past the window, barking her head off, which is something that she likes to do quite a bit. Anyway, as well, so the other liveries that you get with this locomotive are like Spawnhead's blue, which is pretty much the same as this, like logo-wise, except of course it's blue. So I think I wonder if there are any ice cream flavours that are blue. I need to stop talking about it. I need to stop talking about ice cream or something. I get hungry. What is it about? I really need to stop blabbering about ice cream and start talking about what this route is. Anyway, so as I said, two of the liveries that you get are this orange livery. Yeah, the blue, the Spawnhead blue, and two, well, they're not necessarily red, nor are they like crimson or burgundy, they're more like a brown livery. One of them doesn't have yellow stripes, but the other one does. And I think that's pretty much it livery-wise. I'm just going to go on the 2D map to see if we can see past any other trains. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we are. If there were any other liveries... Well, actually, just now that I remember in that previous video I recorded on this route, where I went from, what was it, Rosetta to Balgowan, I did see, do remember seeing the blue 6C1 somewhere on that run, but you'll have to go back and check that video, just to be sure. Right, well, for some reason, I feel I should mention that, well, looking down on my desk, I can see the Helgen Class 128, which appeared in one of my recent videos. I don't know why I mentioned that. Basically, I guess really just so I can have something to talk about. Looking up at the shelf, I can see two other models, Evening Star and Duchess of Kent. So it's a 9F and a Princess Royal. Further up, there's the second one. I'm probably going to make a absolute perfect fool of myself by saying this, but in the words of Phil Collins, I don't care anymore. I've got plush versions of all four Teletubbies. Yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to make a bit of a fool of myself by saying that, but as I said, to quote Phil, well, as much as I hate to quote Billy Joel, like, actually no, I'm not sure if that quote from the chorus line from My Life is going to fit, so it's going to 1 in 30. I don't think the railway around Herlona doesn't get anywhere near as steep as that. Schedule, it's good to see. I feel I should mention that this is one of the default scenarios that comes with the routes, which is a career scenario, as you can tell by the 0 there. What I've done is, because I felt that the way they did the scoring in the career scenarios was so too a bit harsh, so I just decided to switch it off really. So we got just over 7 kilometres to go to I think that's Cedara. Now consider it, judging by the fact that the track splits here, I think it's to do with the fact that we're about to go into twin bore tunnels, but for a second I thought it was because there was it used to be what's called an island platform, but at Pietermaritzburg, which is in south, well, more or less south. I mean, put it this way, it's between Kukura and Kukuri. I'll probably be going through there tomorrow if I'm lucky, because tomorrow, well, I'm recording this video on, what is it, I think it's Saturday the 16th of March 2019, and tomorrow, which is obviously going to be Sunday the 17th, I'll be going up to Boughton, to the museum in the area of Western Springs, which is called MOTAT. That's short for Museum of Transport Technology, if my memory serves me right. Now the reason I'm going tomorrow specifically is because apparently I've been told, thanks to some people on Discord, that lights on. And even though speed limit's going up to 60, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get up that far. Just remember that we're on a tunnel, so there's absolutely no point whatsoever in putting on the speed lights. One thing anyway, let me go back to Motab. So, back to Motab now. Yeah, so the reason I'm going tomorrow specifically is because apparently I've got a tip off from people on Discord that I've got a tip off from people on Discord. There's no instrument lights. But if I put on the camera, it's a different story. Anyway, one thing I was told on Discord is that apparently Motat is going to be doing a special day where they're running, I think, all of their heritage trams. Well, I mean New Zealand trams, so like the double-decker tram from Wellington, which has the number 47, which I've already been ridden. From memory, it was actually very cramped, at least. And I think if I get the chance to go on it again, I'm probably going to stay on the bottom deck, because I noticed that when you're on the top deck of that tram, you're actually really close to the overhead wires, which is not the kind of place I would want to be. Actually, come to think of it, I think that Wellington double-decker is one of only 2 double-decker trams I've ever seen. There's this other one down at the Ferrymead Railway, well, more or less in Christchurch, which I think is number 26. I'm not sure what city it came from originally, but I think it might have been Christchurch. But anyway, when I say Christchurch, obviously I don't mean the heritage tram line that goes around the centre of Christchurch today. By the way, I feel I should mention that when I was in Christchurch in November last year, I had no idea where I was going, such as the nature of not having been to Christchurch in almost 12 years. Yes, unfortunately, I'm just going to bite the bullet and say it. I was born in 2000, so that makes me 18 years old at the time I'm recording this video. And in all those years, I've only left the North Island 3 times. Once in January 2007, when I went to the South Island for the first time. The second time was in October 2013, when I went to Melbourne, however you want to say it, in Australia, more specifically the state of Victoria. That was, as I said, that was October 2013, and I was there for, I want to say, about 6 days. One of the highlights on that was probably getting to go on the Puffy Billy Railway, even though the weather on that day was just about as bad as it is in this scenario. I've obviously gone back to the free roam view just to show you what I mean about the rain. Okay, how the hell did I get extra windscreen lights? Raindrops on the windscreen outside. Of course, one thing is just that this is a very long tunnel. How much further we've got to go? Quite some way. This is actually reminding me of the Woodhead tunnel on the old routes we used to go from Manchester to Sheffield. No prices for this, Manchester to Sheffield. Anyway. Woodhead was basically the stuff of legends, certain railway fans like myself, mainly because it was, I believe it was the only mainline railway in all of England, and I guess the UK as a whole, to be electrified at 1,500 volts DC. I think in the case of this South African route, I think it's electrified at 3,000 volts DC. So good luck trying to get that. Good luck trying to get the 681 to run any other system. It's being built to run a different voltage. Anyway, yeah, Woodhead. So I believe the electrification of that route was talked about as early as like 1937, and I think by 1939 they had started to put in the catenary masts, which are those posts that you see next to a railway that has electric trains running on it. If you're near one of the biggest railways in Auckland, you should know exactly see together, and you get a very famous band that came out of Australia. No prizes for guessing which band I'm referring to, but in case you don't know, I suggest you go on YouTube and look up one of their songs. One I'm going to recommend is Thunderstruck, which has Brian Johnson on lead vocals. Anyway, as I said, the woodhead electrification was talked about and had been started, I think, in the late 1930s. And unfortunately, the Second World War came along, and honestly, Britain took a bit of a beating those 6 years. But anyway, it also meant that the woodhead electrification didn't end up opening, I believe, until 1954, which I think was 9 years after the war. 9 years after the war ended. Of water, by the way, not beer or wine or anything like that. That's silly. Explain why I'm being quiet for a while. Right, so one of the problems with the Woodhead line was the fact that it was that dirty long tunnel that ran under the Pennines between Woodhead itself and a place called Dartford Bridge, which is our section, which in my opinion is probably the best. I think I'll just take go on this tangent to say that in my opinion probably the best looking part of the Woodhead line was the section between Hadfield, not Hatfield, it's the one between London, King's Cross and Reading Garden City. Hadfield in this case. The section between Hadfield and Woodhead, which ran up along one side of the Woodhead Reservoir. And I think one of the places along that section was called Crowley, and another one was Torside. Of course, actually I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to do that now that I think about it. Basically all this is just me doing a bit of mindless rambling while I drive an electric engine in a train simulator. And I feel I should mention that I can make absolutely no promises about song, no promises, it's by an Australian band called Ice House. Anyway, I cannot make, this is purely a test to see what you viewers think of me doing commentary, because as you will know, basically for the entire history of the entire time I've been running this channel, I haven't done any commentary, and the main reason is because, well, quite frankly, I just feel very uncomfortable with hearing my own voice played back in a recording, and that's a problem I've had for quite a few years. I mean, I give it as much as I don't like Laserjet, he obviously does have the courage, if you will. There's the tunnel. It's back on. As I said, as much as I don't like Laserjet, I will give him credit for at least being brave enough to do commentary. Mind you, I don't really watch his videos, but from memory he does do commentary. And of course that goes for people like, I don't know, Sam's Trains, I guess. Who was a channel that I actually took quite a big long break from a while ago, and then got back into watching his videos quite recently. In fact, just before I recorded this video, I was watching a video where he looks at taking a somewhat rather critical look at a steam locomotive model from a company called Helgen, which is obviously the same people who made this Class 128 model that I've got sitting on my desk. The model he's basically tore into, metaphorically of course, is the London North Eastern Railway 02 class, not to be confused with the British Rail Class 02, which are the two completely different. For a start, the LNER 02 was a, what does that say, the relief driver is waiting for you at a stopping point, looking ahead, will see you next to the white pickup and make sure you stop on the spot. I think what they mean by pickup is like a small truck, which in New Zealand is what we call ute. So Cedara. Now, I'm not sure what these platforms over here are, but I assume this is different. It's obviously like a line. Like I say, despite the fact that this route is quite long, it is like a linear route in the sense that there are no like branch lines, unless you can branch up to the Cedara junction up the Ladysmith route. And I guess maybe also the Pietermaritzburg to Mason's Mill yard section at the southern end, but really that's just an extension of the main line, generally speaking. There's the white pickup. Now, as soon as I stop the train, I will pause the game briefly so anyway, yeah, I'm surprised by how quickly this has gone through. I guess me talking is really just helping the time to go by. For those that you for those that might know or might not know, there's actually a song out there called Time. It's by a band called Pink Floyd, and I've obviously overshot quite a bit, so I'm gonna put some brakes. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, this is definitely the sort of vehicle that us New Zealanders call a ute. Well, anyway, this hasn't really stopped entirely, but it's going to stop soon. Yep. Right. Well, that has been, I think it's Boughton or Boughton, whatever its name is, to Cedara. Hopefully my first successful attempt at recording a video with some form of commentary. Like I say, I can make absolutely no promises as to whether or not I'm going to do this again in the future. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it just boils down to whether or not I can be bothered. Obviously, I don't mean that in a rude way. I'm just saying that. Well, what I mean is, like, I would really only do commentary if I feel comfortable with doing it. Like I say, the reason I'm doing it today is just a bit of a test. But anyway, yeah. So that was I think Boughton to Cedara. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the run. This has been Train Spotter speaking, and I will see you in the next video.